All right, welcome back to Jeff Kenange Live. I tell you, we're still trying to verify this information, the breaking news that's just doing the rounds, that Nairobi County Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, that's the number I'm trying to call. Okay, I'm trying to call the governor to verify whether he has indeed nominated Miguna as his deputy. We're getting all kinds of information, but and also we're getting analysts to look at whether this letter, which you see in front of you here, is verified. My guest tonight, of course, is Secretary General of KOTU, Francis Atwoli. SG, this is really breaking news, and it comes as a shocker, for lack of a better word.
To me, it appears genuine because Sonko is a fast, quick-thinking person and a fast-moving person. He would have already denied this letter.
Yes.
Up to now, if he has not denied it,
yes,
it is really.
And by the way, he has not tweeted in more than an hour since the news broke.
Yeah.
Nasasa Komteja.
He has given Kenyans and Nairobians a debate, a subject for debate.
But what is he saying to State House? You think he's telling State House, and then he's saying, I can do what I want. This is my town.
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Miguna, who's been abusing the president to no end.
But you know, this is a political country, I've told you. Anything
can happen.
Can happen. And particularly more so south of Sahara. Where people operate from different scripts.
Yeah.
So you cannot you cannot doubt it, you know, until he himself comes out and denies it. But for now, let's believe it.
Yes.
And as I've told you, Miguna also is a Kenyan.
Yes.
He's entitled to such a position.
But
if anything, he also fight for that.
But you don't even have faith in this duo, in this team. You don't even think this team can get along.
I told you they can't get along. That is my view. That's my pass from where I'm sitting.
Correct.
They can't get along. But as I've told you always, in politics, anything is possible. I've always told you like that. And I've told you, don't believe in politics. Politics is not really. I've told Kenyans. And there was a very serious veteran Kenyan politician, the late Sharif Nasir. The old man I used to admire. Sincere, honest, specific,
sycophantic,
and open. Not
a sycophant.
No, not sycophantic. Yeah. That is why I'm telling you, you're sincere. If he's supporting you, he's honest. He will protect you and defend you. That does not mean you are a sycophant of somebody. And that is what it's all about in leadership. You must have people who are loyal to you. So he said one day, he told us, Siasa si hasa.
Siasa?
Si hasa. In other words, siasa si kweli.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's something you cannot be able to comprehend.
It's like an illusion.
Yeah, it's an illusion. So don't believe in it until when it is turned into something practical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, today we have seen the ultimate Houdini, for lack of a better word. Houdini. This was ultimate turnaround, as Arthur says. Speaking of turnaround, should we go to some tweets, Monica? Should we do some tweets? Yeah. Okay, so we have lawyer Nelson Harvey live on the phone right now. Nelson, you on the phone? Can you hear me? It's Jeff and Atwoli.
I can hear you, Jeff. Say hi to my uncle Atwoli.
Thank you, Papa.
So listen, Nelson, is this true? Is this verified?
Yes, it is verified. One of Miguna's lawyer is actually the one who collected the letter from Governor Sonko, and it is confirmed. It is true.
And when you saw this, I see your congratulatory tweet, but when you heard this news, Nelson, what went through your mind?
Well, we are all excited. The block that was rejected by the builder has turned out to be the foundation stone. So clearly, this argument we are hearing that Miguna is not a Kenyan, perhaps it has more than meets the eye.
But Nelson, come on, you must have been shocked. You must have been surprised like a lot of us, because Miguna referred to Sonko as a thief, cartel, yes, drug dealer, you name it, prisoner, ex-prisoner.
Well, it's not surprising. You remember the other day, Deputy President William Ruto referred to Governor Anne Waiguru as the person of the catwalk, but they're now the best of friends. So it doesn't come as a shock that Governor Sonko will be ready, willing, and able to work with Dr. Miguna.
Yeah, we've been monitoring Miguna's tweets, Nelson, and he hasn't tweeted yet. You think he'll accept this job?
Well, that is upon him to decide, but I think he better accept the job. It's a good job. You shouldn't turn it down.
Would you accept it if it was you?
Absolutely, yes, Jeff.
So if he was to take advice from lawyer to lawyer, would you tell him, come back home, there's a job waiting for you?
Exactly, like a VIP, so that he's given a diplomatic passport to travel very fast back to Kenya.
Yeah. Okay, before I let you go, Nelson, do you think these two will get along? Because Francis Atwoli doesn't think that they'll get along. It's like oil and water. What do you think?
No, they will get along very well. I think they're all men of action, and bearing in mind that politics and administration can be synchronized to work together. Governor Sonko will benefit a great deal from the zero corruption tolerance level of Miguna, ensuring that Nairobi County is where it's supposed to be.
So he's going to come and drain the swamp?
Absolutely.
And get rid of the cartels?
I hope you'll not be caught in the draining, Jeff.
Nelson, I knew you had to say something like that. Listen, real quick, did you speak to Cliff Ombeta yourself?
Yes, I spoke to him about 20 minutes ago.
And he confirmed everything? He's got the letter, he picked it up, everything?
Yes, it's genuine.
So it's official?
It is official.
Nelson, nice to talk to you as always. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay, cheers. Jeff.
Nelson, confirming that Cliff Ombeta, the lawyer, picked up the letter from Governor Sonko's office, confirming that Governor Sonko has nominated the man with the same name twice, Miguna, to be his deputy in Nairobi County. Wow. Monica, do we have tweets or do we go home now?
That is final.
SG, let's have a couple of tweets. Let's see what the tweets are saying, okay?
Sure.
All right. Cliff Ombeta is still on the TV here, Atur. Shortly. Leo, okay. Okay, here we go. Agumba Steve says, salute the great man Atwoli. Tell us something about the lecturers' strike. The students are disastrous at home.
That is true, but you know that lecturers' strike would have been ended long time ago if those who are charged with responsibilities of meeting trade unions in the government would have taken it serious upon themselves.
And they didn't take it seriously?
Somebody slept on the job.
Who?
Those who are responsible.
Who slept on the job, SG? Come on, name them.
Either the Minister for Education, the Minister for Labor, and the Treasury. I don't think they were serious. They would have summoned the trade unions, the trade unionists, and entered into a return to work formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They slept on the job.
Yeah, they slept on the job.
And they're still on strike.
Yeah, because nobody is reaching them. It's reaching out on them. Somebody is supposed to summon or to go to where they are, and then they say, let us have a round table meeting. They are registered officials.
Everyone.
And their work is to agitate.
Everyone's being kichwangumu.
Yeah.
David Were, ask Atwoli what he thinks about the recent rankings of governors in terms of C+, C, and D+. By the way, C+ was Nyong'o, C was Joho, D+ was Sonko. He got a D+.
Governors are not primary school children. That's a useless system of doing things. Yeah, they should be able to reach out to those governors and inform them of their shortcomings in their offices as elected and people in charge of the counties. You can't go to press ranking people as if these are young kids in a primary school somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wrong. Somebody should tell that organization that things are not done like that.
Robinson Mutiso says, this will be an interesting one. Atwoli, please keep in mind about cohesion and the future of the unemployed, educated youth. Also, what happened to polytechnics? And Mutiso's tweeting from Houston, Texas. What happened to polytechnics?
That is where we went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need technicians, we need mechanics, we need people who can really do the job. We don't want, we are producing so many university graduates who cannot do the job.
Yeah.
Go to Germany. They support polytechnics more than universities. So I support him. Something somewhere is wrong. And this is where the Minister of Education should come up and tell Kenyans what happened. Right now, the National Industrial Training Authority, which is under the Minister of Labor, because there is money there, somebody is now fighting to transfer it to the Minister of Education. People are looking at the money which is there. Yeah. Instead of supporting it where it is in Labor Ministry, so that it can train young men and women who are ready to be absorbed in different cadres of employment.
But they want to steal it.
They want to steal it. So it's right to questioning what happened to our, and then I think Kenyans, we must change the way we are doing things, because in the future we are going to lose out on technicians.
Yeah.
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 The way we have lost out in so many things. Look, even Matiang'i was good in education.
Yes.
He was trying to streamline the education ministry.
He did a good job.
Than where he is now.
In internal.
Yeah.
Shame.
So we put wrong people in right positions, right people in wrong positions, and you expect to get results? It's terrible.
Is Miguna the right person in the right position?
That one I told you I'm doubtful, though my own young man Harvey says that he will do a good job and get on along very well. I don't think so.
He's a stone that the builder refused.
Absolutely. No, there will be a problem.
Kibet Keegan, I'm going to quote you on this show. Atwoli has a lot of ideas on future politics. He has a lot of knowledge about our political class and movements for quite a while. Okay, is there a question there? Oh. Omar Musa, the government deploy police officers to universities to break workers' strike and force lecturers to teach. As labor union leader, do you see workers' rights being abused?
Absolutely. They are being abused left and right. Right now, somebody is coming up with a bill in Parliament under Miscellaneous Amendment 2018 to remove the right to strike from the Constitution without knowing that it is in the Bill of Rights in that Constitution. If you want to remove it, it must be a referendum, through a referendum.
Yeah.
And because people don't want to engage, or they are inferior to the trade unionists, they want now to come up with legislation to tame trade unions, to tame labor movement, and they will not succeed, I can tell them.
Yeah.
Here and now. We fought for the independence we have, for freedom we have as trade unionists. We belong to other working people of the world. They will give us support to fight whoever has such a poor notion of trying to play around and taming trade unionists through a miscellaneous amendment bill, which is supposed to go public and people debate about it. And it is unconstitutional. If somebody messed up and it went through Parliament, we'll just move to a constitutional court and it will be annulled. That one I know for sure.
What if the president assents to it?
President can't. Huh? This current president cannot. President Uhuru cannot append a signature on something which is unconstitutional. He has returned so many. He can't, I know him.
He can't?
He can't. And he's a worker. He's a young man. Even if he retired tomorrow, he requires employment.
Yeah.
How would he do something that negates the principle of employment, of creating employment in this country? President Uhuru will never pen signature to that. That one I'm sure of, even if I'm not talking to him.
I think you are talking to him. I think you're secretly talking to him.
That's what people think.
Mondi Salmon, you say, the only person who can bring order to Nairobi is Miguna. This city must be saved before it is late. Bring back the general and hand over Nairobi to him. He will put everything to order. I wonder if that was before the announcement. Wow. Interesting. Huh?
Yeah.
SG.
Yeah.
It's been a very heavy evening and some big breaking news. But still, you know, it's still, you know, I don't know if it's verified or not, so we'll wait for that. Absolutely. But before we leave, Monica, do you have that sound bite from Dr. Mukisa Kitui? Because Atwoli is heading to Geneva tomorrow. He should be aware of what Mukisa said, because he's based in Geneva.
Yeah, I know.
What did Mukisa say?
Let me listen.
Do you support what COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli said the other day, that let's change the constitution and provide a situation where you have a powerful prime minister and a president? Because when President Kenyatta retires in 2022, according to Atwoli, he doesn't want him to engage in any mischief. He wants, let's give him an office and create a powerful prime minister post.
You know, I think it was an ill-advised statement. You can want to have a constitutional order with an executive prime minister and a president with reduced powers, like the model of France, for example. But when you mix it with suggesting individuals for office, just like Atwoli has done and Orengo has done, I think you soil the mood, you foul the environment. Let us distance the personal ambitions of any persons from the discussion about the architecture of national governance.
Let me tell you, that is not true. Constitutions are created for leadership. Leadership is created for people. And leadership is sought with people in mind. You cannot create a constitution and create positions for hawkers, if a hawker is a hawker. Constitutions are created for, let me tell you, let me give him a good example now. If we changed the constitution and we created more positions for the political stability of our country in the executive, and then they say whoever will occupy the position of prime minister, though I didn't mention the prime minister. Yeah. I did not mention the position.
Right.
I didn't have that in mind. But then the constitution says whoever will have a party with majority
in parliament
is the one who will be appointed a prime minister. And Uhuru retires and he decides to remain in Jubilee, or he moves in my party KANU, or he goes back to his party TNA. And he organizes Central Province and Mount Kenya. He gets more MPs than maybe myself in Western Kenya or anybody else from the coast or Eastern or Nyanza. Will you constitutionally deny him a position of prime minister? Will you?
If he has
it will be unconstitutional.
If he has the majority.
If he has the majority. So I don't know what my friend is talking about. And or else if Raila, for that matter, he had that majority. Or the small parties decide to come together and say,
we are backing so and so.
So and so. What will you do? So the constitution is not created in a vacuum. That is what Dr. Mukisa should know. It's created with some perception in mind. And me, I said clearly, I didn't mention that he will occupy the position of prime minister. I said Uhuru is still young. And he's a politician of very high caliber, most respected. And he commands majority. Don't be deceived, both in Central and outside Central. And if you retire such a person and you want to lead comfortably, do you expect him to go back to Gatunda and start selling tobacco or charcoal? And he has been on top there. Create something for him to keep him busy. And this is what I've been talking about Raila Odinga. Create something for Raila to keep him busy, for the country to be peaceful.
Yeah.
Because he also commands a huge following.
And look at him now.
Yeah.
He's in London.
Yeah, he's in London.
Cambridge.
And you cannot wish it away.
No.
Yeah, you cannot bury your head in the sand and say, oh, Raila doesn't have people.
Absolutely.
And if I was one, for those people who are vying for high positions, I would have moved like nobody else close to Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. So that I manage the change. I get inside there with them to manage the change.
Not fight it.
Don't fight it.
No.
If you fight it,
yes,
that change will change you. It has happened in the future. And I've told people don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm an elder. I want nothing. Even some are suggesting to take away my life. If you took away my life, you have done nothing. Because I've seen it all. Yeah.
Done it all. Seen it, done it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got the t-shirt.
So you listen to me. And if you follow me, you will never go wrong.
I listen to you. I listen to you very carefully.
If there is something in politics that you should always resist, is to say no, no, no. First of all, accept it. get inside there. If I was one of the Kenyan politicians, I would be now very close to Uhuru Kenyatta. Because nobody, as I'm talking to you, knows where Uhuru Kenyatta is politically. Nobody, as I'm talking to you, knows where Raila is politically, apart from saying he also supports a referendum. This is the truth of the matter. Yeah. And when they will come up, and I will give you a good example. Nobody knew where Moi was on Jojo until that time he said Jojo was a traitor.
Yes.
And Jojo had following. So many MPs from everywhere. And everybody knew that after Moi, maybe Jojo will become the president.
Yes. And then all of a sudden,
he even moved out of his plum office of Attorney General
to become MP. And then minister.
And then minister. And once the president said so and so was a traitor, everybody ran away. In 2 minutes he was alone. And the debate was going on. He went to Parliament and he said, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think those documents that were tabled on the table by Honorable Member for Butere, Honorable Joseph Martin Shikuku, are my own documents, and I therefore am resigning as a minister and as a member of Parliament.
Just like that?
Just like that.
So you say one day in politics?
It's like 100 years. So when you see the wave is coming, don't go back to supporters. Yeah? Because supporters would just support you. Even I've had our Speaker of Senate from Western Kenya, the man I respect very well, Lusaka. He says that yeye hufuata inzi, pahali inzi inaenda iko maziwa. Sasa ukifuata inzi na inzi inaenda hata pahali ya kitu kimekufa. Wewe utakula hiyo kitu imekufa. Hata pahali iko mavi, inzi goes there. So how will you continue following inzi? So what I'm telling you, in politics, somebody can come up with a slogan that can dismantle you in a minute. So, and if you are a wise politician, when you see a wave is coming, it's like when you are hunting, you are in a forest. Just don't stay there entirely. Pick some sand, see where the wind is blowing. Where the wind is blowing, that is the right place for you to go. If you go against that wind, there is an elephant coming.
President Atwoli, have fun in Geneva. All the best.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a month's time.
Absolutely.
Asante sana.
Asante, my brother.
Great to see you.
Asante.
As always.
Thank you, my brother.
And stay safe. Don't let anybody shoot you or anything. Eh?
No. Oh. Kenya government is aware and it's alert. and I'm properly protected.
You are?
Yeah, by the Kenya government.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Francis Atwoli there, our guest for tonight. What a man, what a show. And yes, the breaking news you heard earlier on, we're still trying to verify 100% that Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko has nominated Miguna as his deputy. We'll keep you posted throughout the night and, of course, into tomorrow morning. And when Jeff and Jalas show up at 6 a.m. on Hot 96, we'll have more of that story. And, of course, all of Citizen or Royal Media Services outlets. You know, if it's Wednesday, it's all about those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. Thanks so much for being a part of this show. Good night. Good luck. God bless you all. SG, asante sana.
Asante sana, Jeff.